going to work on that. We're going to work on a tagline here, folks, but this is Common Comic Covers, a review, a new segment that we're launching starting right now where weekly Andy and I are reviewing a comic book,
Hi.
old or new. Oh, yeah, sorry. Hi, I'm Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Andy. It's okay.
Uh, Foreshadowing of things to come in this segment.
Oh
Me,
no.
me talking. Hey, you're going to want to stick around. We are reviewing a legendary iconic author, artist, and book, Detective Comics number 472 from 1977. Steve Englehart, Marshall Rogers. Stick around, buckle up, um, grab some popcorn. And, oh, that's, well, oh well.
It was manufactured like that. So
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
My copy is well loved, but like all my comic books, I paid $1.50 for it.
Mhm.
Andy, I'm going to give us a breakdown here. Okay,
Yeah.
so here's some fun facts. 1977, Detective Comics 472, Steve Englehart, Marshall Rogers. Steve Englehart was on the title from 469 to 476. So this is pretty smack dab right in the middle of Steve
Middle.
Englehart's run.
Yeah.
Marshall Rogers joined him on 471, so the issue right before this one,
Mm.
and and stayed around three issues after um, Englehart left. So Rogers was on 471 to 479. Another fun fact, I'm full of them right now. Right at this time, same Englehart and Rogers are actually working on another title right at the same time.
What one?
Do you want to Mr. Miracle?
Oh,
They are working on Mr. Miracle. Oh man, shoot. I think it might be number 20 or 21 right in there.
just
Right towards the
after
end. This is
Kirby, right after Kirby left,
it's
or
right after Kirby and right before Gerber.
oh boy. All right.
Gerber actually takes it from Englehart after a few issues, and
Huh.
Rogers sticks on. But I think that Mr. Miracle, excuse me, Mr. Miracle.
Yeah.
Um, did I say Miracle Man or Mr. Miracle?
You said Mr. Miracle.
Okay, awesome.
Most of the
Uh,
times at least.
I have fine. Yeah. Steve, what? Dave Steves.
Steve Englehart.
Yeah, Dave Steves. Um,
These are deep cuts.
we're like, yeah, inside jokes are not good. We should just get to this. Okay,
Okay.
here we go. Detective Comics 472 starts off. The title is I Am the Batman, but there's gonna be lots of spoilers here, folks. But first page, you find out Batman is Hugo Strange. Hugo
Yeah.
Strange is posing or is masking literally Batman and Bruce Wayne. So he's going
Yeah.
around town as Bruce Wayne and as Batman. Although this issue, I think he's only Bruce Wayne in the issue, other than just
Yeah.
the first page where he's taking off the cowl and then taking off Bruce Wayne's
Well,
face.
and the cover
Um,
said it's the Batman is dead. Long live the
Batman
new
is dead.
Batman.
Yeah,
It's kind of a
yeah,
cool, yeah, and the cover's
it's,
awesome. This is a great
it's
cover.
beautiful.
Sorry to
Yeah.
backtrack, but yeah,
No, no, I think that. Thank you for interrupting. That's yeah, that's you need to see the cover. It's a beautiful cover. It's a beautiful Marshall Rogers cover. Um, so this story is a continuous story. So we're jumping kind of in the middle of what's going on, but you can guess enough. Dr. Phosphorus had some radiation poison for Bruce Wayne. So Bruce isn't dead. He's in Gray Tower, unconscious, but Alfred is there taking care of him. But Hugo Strange, his goal in all of this is to sell off all of Batman's riches, all of his stocks. He's just selling them and making money. Um, yeah, that's just kind of it. He's making like $17 million.
yeah,
So that's kind of where we start. And then there's kind of a random Silver Snake Cloud is in there for a couple pages. She comes back
yeah. Who's that?
and
Is that just a girlfriend of Bruce's? I mean, that's who she was
yeah,
in the book.
she
It was
so
some.
her first appearance is like a few issues before this one.
Okay,
So she's new on the scene, and Bruce is actually Dr. Hugo, or, yeah, Dr. Strange.
Yeah.
Hugo Strange, excuse me, and well, yeah, I say he's Doctor Strange.
He
Um,
is a doctor, right?
so he kind of
Yeah.
fakes it and breaks up with her in the span
Yeah.
of like 3 squares.
How do I get this
Uh,
lady out of here?
yeah, I gotta get rid of her. Okay, that was good. But she
Yeah.
just senses something is wrong. So
Hmm.
she calls up Dick Grayson. She doesn't know Dick Grayson is Robin. So he just has to say, oh, that's this Bruce. But thankfully she called him. That's going to come in later. Then kind of the plot changes. So Hugo Strange is um, also looking for the highest bidder to then reveal who Batman is. So
Yeah.
he's selling off of Bruce Wayne's stocks as Bruce Wayne and making money. And then he's like, and now to the highest bidder. And the bidding starts at $1 million. So he makes that announcement, and it's very secretive. And as he's leaving, Rupert Thorne, I'm sure it's Hugo. Rupert Thorne. I've never heard of him.
Crime boss or
He's a
whatever.
cigar. Yeah, he's a cigar smoking crime lord,
Yeah.
straight out of The Sopranos. He gets because he wants to know who Batman is. It's valuable. Robin scales up Gray Tower, finds Bruce and Alfred, so they're taken care of. There's some other stuff. Hugo won't give it up to
Yeah.
Rupert Thorne. They torture him. He dies.
Yeah.
Spoiler. Sorry, spoiler. He dies.
It's okay.
That's kind of the story to be continued with this to the next issue.
Yeah.
But that's 472. Okay, Andy, what are
Yeah.
your thoughts?
So I
Art,
liked
story. Where do you want to go?
so like there's like a lot of nostalgia for me because in the 90s they had the Detective Comics or not Detective Comics, they had the Dark Knight. Do you remember that Dark Knight uh run? Started in the 90s. It was like the first
Yes. Yeah.
Batman
Yeah.
new
Yeah. Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
So like
Like
I think
Gotham was the first series, and it was like different authors every arc.
yeah, it was like an
What you're
anthology
talking about?
type
Yeah.
thing, yeah. So
Yeah.
though
Yeah.
I got a comic book from a kid at school, probably fifth grade, and it was Batman Prey was the storyline. It was just the first one in it, and it had Hugo Strange in it. And he was like such a good creepy villain in that story.
Mhm.
Um and so when I was like, oh, the Hugo Strange is here, I was like, oh, that's cool. I remember him from when I was a kid and I was reading it. And and then I was like, when did Hugo Strange, what was his first appearance? And it was Detective Comics 34. And then like he died. And then this is like the issue before this is his first reappearance in the
Okay.
modern
Yep.
age.
Yep.
Um
Yeah, you
uh,
have this Englehart run has first appearance of Dr. Phosphorus, Silver St. Cloud, the new Hugo Strange. So it's quite the run of bringing those people back or
yeah,
introducing a few.
that's cool. Yeah, I haven't I didn't look at my overshoot for that, but I enjoyed the story. I liked the art on this is the least good of the ones we've reviewed, I felt.
Really,
I didn't love the art in this.
I completely disagree with you.
Okay, that is fine. It's okay.
You're so wrong.
I mean, it's not like bad, but it just didn't there wasn't yeah, it just didn't pull me in as much. I mean, you were talking about Sal Buscema and Gene Colan, two pillars and
Sure, sure.
yeah. So
I I liked his, where he lacks in kind of I think pulling you in. I
mhm.
think he sets a good narrative. Like what what got me was his attention to detail. Like
Hmm.
some of these street scenes, some of these, there's some really interesting layouts in this that I think are kind of cool. And just the
Yeah.
amount of detail that he was putting into every bit of layout, I thought that was pretty spectacular. Because right, sometimes it's just a room with not much in it, or it's a street with not much in it.
Yeah.
And I thought there was a few that's like, man, these are works of art. So I
Yeah.
loved the art. I thought it just grabbed me, and I thought it worked well with to me this seemed a little bit more right. There was not a lot of action in this. Batman wasn't in it. Bruce Wayne was in it, and there was like
Mm.
one scene at the very beginning where Hugo Strange had on the cowl. Um,
Yeah.
but Batman was not in this. Robin was in it for a minute, and he had to fight a giant lady. Um,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And
so
yeah.
there wasn't a lot of action, but I mean, it kind of, again, I think it's kind of that Gerber, that Englehart style where it's a story. And that's where I think Marshall Rogers did a good job. He was not having to worry about
Yeah.
action and creating,
I
the
do
action of a scene. He was
I
just
yeah. I would
painting the
say that
picture.
his like camera angle of where he decided to draw sometimes it's interesting and sometimes it's pretty boring. But yeah, I mean, I can see like yeah,
I could
it's
see how
okay.
you could say it's boring, but I totally get where you're coming from on that. But I liked that.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. Like
I like boring.
it was I would just say I would say it's a step below the last two books for me, but that's okay.
Okay.
It's not bad, and I
I
like the
feel I'm
story.
Go ahead, sorry, keep going.
No, I
What
really like the
what
story.
yeah, what'd you like about it? What'd you like about the story? Because well, you go. What'd you like?
Um, well, it definitely wasn't um a Batman has a clue, he finds the bad guys and beats them up. It's Batman is kind of the one that needs to be rescued, which was kind of a cool way. Usually it's Robin that needs to be rescued and not
Mhm.
Batman.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, Batman,
And
he was a minor character in this book.
yeah. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, and it really made Hugo Strange seem like I enjoy the villains that are noble, even though they're villains,
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
which is kind of what he
Well,
ended up being.
and even at the end, Rupert Thorne says, as Hugo Strange is dying, Rupert Thorne says, um, why are you something along the lines of uses the word loyalty. Why do you have loyalty
To your enemy.
towards your enemy? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny, the whole time I'm thinking the exact same thing where it's like he has so much reverence for Bruce Wayne and Batman that
Yeah.
but it's like there's reverence in stealing his money. Like
Yeah.
I, I'm
Yeah.
gonna steal his money, but he is such a great man, which
Yeah.
I thought was I was fine with that. I wanted to know a little bit more about Rupert Thorne. They got to throw some stuff into here. I'm going to have a hard time scoring this one just because I feel I need to read 471 or probably 469. I need to start with the Englehart 469
Yeah.
to see what's going on. I think that's when this all starts.
Well,
I
at
think I
least the
could
issue
score.
before. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think I could score after I read maybe 69, 70, 71, or 70, 71, something like that.
Yeah.
Um, but it just, yeah, the plot holes aren't there. It's more just a matter of we're just not done with the story yet on what's going to go on here, what's happening next. So I'm curious about the next few issues, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Well, I feel like it was definitely like a two-issue arc with Hugo Strange, and that
Mhm.
is over at the end of this comic book. It seems like I am. I liked it. I would be. I'll give it a
What are
score.
you
I
giving it?
think it's a.
Yeah.
Uh, I think it's a 4-star book. I
Wow.
liked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's higher than you gave the last two. You just said it was lower. No, no, I guess last week you gave it a 5 star. You gave the
Yeah.
Hulk 5 star.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. The
So
Phantom Zone was
higher than
1.5, something like that. Yeah. I
mm-mm.
didn't like that
No
one.
way. It was
Yeah.
rich. Yeah, I'll give this one. I can see eventually a 4, but I'm going to give it a 3 just because
Sure.
I want to know. I want to know more. I need to read. Um, which I think is a good sign. Like if you give it a 3, but you want to read the book
Yeah.
before this and the book after it, um, I think that's a good sign.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, yeah,
Yeah. I really like
listeners,
this.
tell us what you think. Have you ever read this book? Do you have this
Yeah.
book? This Englehart run, there's some minor key books in it, but it's still pretty affordable. Um, you can, I think the most expensive book you could probably get away with 20, 34. I think well, I can't remember what it is. There's a iconic Joker book, and
Hmm.
there's a few kind of iconic covers in this run, but all that to
Hmm.
say, I am missing two of the Englehart 469 to 476. So I'm close, but I think one of them
Okay.
is the more expensive one. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'll give it a three.
Not
I
a
could
three and a
see
half.
though.
Not a
No, I'll
three.
give it a three. I'm
Okay.
gonna give it a three. I'm gonna stay there, but
Okay.
I can see moving to a four pretty easily once I
I,
read the other ones.
I was thinking about, I was like, I shouldn't do half grades anymore. And then I was like, I could do a three or a four. And I was like, I'll do a four. Because I think I would, yeah, it was a solid book. And at least I felt like it completed this, like it told a story from the beginning to end. Like it was like,
Yeah, for sure.
so, I mean, not from the beginning, but close enough. Like I was like,
Yeah,
okay, I get it.
I get it. I don't think it's a good standalone though.
I, it's, it didn't leave you on a cliffhanger.
No. And
Yeah.
I bought a Batman book without Batman. So
Well, he,
I want a little Batman in it. So that's what
okay.
I'm saying. It's not a good standalone. You have to
Mm,
what I'm saying is I think you have to look at this with all the issues as a
yeah.
whole. Um, I think if you're just saying, no, it's
So
a good standalone, well, it's a standalone then without Batman, which I don't know.
I,
That's okay, but
yeah, I liked the
uh,
idea that it was a Batman book where it was like the flipped, where it was Robin had to rescue Batman when usually it's the other way around. And
yeah, that's a good point. I like it. And I could
yeah,
have used a little bit more Silver St. Cloud. I'm hoping she shows up in the next one. I'm curious about her.
that it's always weird when Bruce Wayne has a love interest to me, but it's like, okay, yeah, they throw it in there
We'll,
sometimes.
we'll
Anyways,
unpack that next time.
yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Andy. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks,
you for
Joey.
this. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Ringo Starr says, peace, love, peace, love.